Hello, in this video we're looking at issue 62 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine, learning some new psychic powers for the Space Marine Librarian and then trying them out on the battlefield. Hello, I'm Will, and this is Mike with the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
And in this video we're looking at issue 62 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. This issue came with two new layer paints, Kjalma Blue and Evil Sons Scarlet, which we'll be putting onto our models in the painting guide, but if you want to skip straight to the battle report, you can do that using the timecode in the description or the chapter bars. We'll have a look through the issue first. So to start, we learn about Space Marine veterans. These are battle brothers who have fought in many campaigns and been promoted to the elite first company of a Space Marine chapter, and they'll quite frequently be attached to other Space Marine task forces to share their wisdom and experience, although occasionally the whole company will fight together as a single elite unit, and veterans are generally allowed their choice of war gear from the chapter's armoury to fight how they prefer. So Terminator veterans wear the ancient suits of Terminator armour, which afford the best personal protection available. Sternguard veterans are expert range combatants and often have specialised bolt guns and other ranged weaponry. And Vanguard veterans are most at home in close combat, and so are equipped with melee weapons and often jump packs as well. We have some more backstory on the Silent King, Zarek, the leader of the Necrons. During the events of the biotransference, when the Necrontyr had their consciousness entombed in metal bodies, his was the most sophisticated and he lost none of his personality or memories in doing so, unlike many of the lesser Necrons. And he now works tirelessly to restore the Necrons to their rightful place in the galaxy. He goes to war aboard the Dais of Dominion, a large floating construct which contains the bound essence of a Catan shard to power it, and it technically carries the entire Triarch, Zarek, and the two other members, although the other two essentially are now entirely enslaved to Zarek's will and support all of his plans without question. Now we learn about the Crimson Fists chapter of Space Marines, another successor chapter of the Imperial Fists. This one was originally made up of some of the youngest and most level-headed members of the chapter, and they're renowned for their stoic endurance and refusal to give up, regardless of what should befall them. They have a particular hatred for the Orcs, especially after Rin's world, which was a planet over which they held lordship, was invaded by Orcs, and almost the entire chapter was destroyed when a missile from their defence systems malfunctioned and obliterated their fortress monastery. But Chapter Master Pedro Cantor, who you can see there, rallied the survivors and fought back and eventually managed to drive the Orcs off, and the chapter has been reinforced with Primaris Space Marines and is restored to some of its former glory. We have an Ultramarines character now, Uriel Ventris, the captain of the Ultramarines' 4th Company, who, you can see from their heraldic colours there, have a green trim rather than the gold, as we've been painting the units in the magazine. Upon his original promotion to captain, he was actually fairly soon exiled from his chapter for deviating from the Codex Astartes, but after some adventures with his loyal companion, Sergeant Pausanias, returned to the chapter and is now once again head of the 4th Company, and being renowned as an expert tactician. We also learn about Varro Togurius, the Ultramarines' chief librarian, an extremely powerful psyker who is particularly adept in the arts of prognostication and foresight, though he's also a deadly force on the battlefield. And a short story about veterans of the Dark Angels chapter trying to extract information about some fallen Dark Angels from an Iron Warriors warband. This mentions the Dark Angels' elite Deathwing Knights and a Morlophine, a kind of Chaos Space Marine demon engine. And now our painting guide makes use of our new paint to add some more edge highlights. So the Kjalma Blue is used on the blue Ultramarines, also on plasma coils on some of our Imperial models and the terrain. And Evil Sun Scarlet is used for the Mechanicus, Space Marine Sergeant helmets, also some Necron things as well as Wild Rider Red to provide an even brighter highlight. And there's a gallery there of some of those models, but with a list of all the ones to apply those highlights to, which is obviously more than they have space for to show here. But anyway, that's it for the issue contents. I'll hand you over to Mike now, where we're learning some new rules and then get into our game.
So we have some new rules for the Space Marines. We actually have the Obscuration Discipline, which is a set of psychic powers that are available to the Phobos Librarian. He knows 2 psychic powers from this list, in addition to Smite, and you can either choose them at the start of the game, or you can roll randomly for each one if you're feeling adventurous. Most of them have a warp charge value of 6 and a range of 18, so I'll call out if it's different. The first one is Shrouding, which affects a friendly Phobos unit until the start of your next psychic phase. Unless that unit is the closest eligible target, enemy models cannot target that unit with range attacks. Soul Sight, which also affects a Phobos unit until the start of your next psychic phase. Each time a model in that unit makes a range attack, you can reroll the hit roll, and the target does not receive the benefits of cover. Mind Raid, select one enemy model, and that model's unit takes a mortal wound, and if that model is a character, you roll 3d6, and if the result is equal to or greater than that model's leadership, you gain a command point. And we have Hallucination, selects one enemy unit, and until the start of your next psychic phase, subtract 1 from the leadership characteristic of models in that unit, and until the start of your next psychic phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. Tenebrous Curse, which has a warp charge value of 7, and you can select one enemy unit that cannot fly. That unit suffers a mortal wound, and until the start of your next psychic phase, you halve that unit's move characteristic and subtract 2 from advanced rolls and charge rolls made for it. And finally, there's Temporal Corridor, which has a warp charge value of 5 and affects a friendly Ultramarines Phobos unit within 6 of the Psyker. That unit cannot fight or shoot this turn, but if it is not within engagement range of any enemy models, it can either make a normal move or it can advance as if it were the movement phase, and if it does advance, you just add 6 rather than rolling. And here in the tutorial we have one with Tenebrous Curse. You can see there the Wraiths having their movement halved, because even though it looks like it, Wraiths do not actually have the fly keyword, so it does work on them. And then Temporal Corridor here, allowing a unit of Infiltrators to get some free movement towards an objective. And into today's mission. So on Kjalma's skull, the Imperium have discovered a mysterious Necron facility with these strange glowing crystals and want to try and recover them for study. And obviously the Necrons don't want these primitives stealing any of their precious technology. Into our actual mission, Nemetic Data Hall, which is a 50 power mission. We have the battle map there using the mats from issues 38 and 58, and we have 6-inch deployment zones on either long edge. Along the centre line are 3 objectives. At the beginning of each battle round you roll a dice, and the dice roll determines which one is the primary objective, so 1 or 2 it's objective 1. Well, it says 2 or 3, but obviously that should be 3 or 4. Objective 2 is the primary objective, and then 5 or 6 objective 3 is the priority objective. The primary objective is capture and control, where at the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is scores 5 victory points for each objective they control, and they score an additional 10 points if they control the priority objective. So that was pretty quick. We'll get the board set up and have a look at the armies we picked and get into the game. So here's the Imperial army I've picked. You can see we've got representatives from all 3 contingents. We've got 26 power of Space Marines on the left. That's the Captain, the Librarian, 2 units of 5 Assault Intercessors and the Outriders. We have the Mechanicus in the middle. There's 15 power of them with the Tech Freeze Dominus, the Skitarii Rangers and the Cataphrone Destroyers. And then 9 power of Battle Sisters with the Canoness and the Battle Sister Squad. And this is obviously a 50 plus power detachment with 4 HQs, 5 troops and 1 fast attack. And my warlord will be the Space Marine Captain, and the Librarian, since we've got some new psychic powers, he's going to take Mind Raid and Hallucination for this game.
And here is my 50 power of Necrons, again obviously in a 50 plus power detachment. We've got 3 HQs at the front, the Overlord, the Chronomancer and the Scorpec Lord. Chronomancer is not going to take a Cryptic Arcana for this game. 3 compulsory troops, 2 units of Warriors and Immortals, 3 Scorpec Destroyers, the Canoptech Reanimator, the Canoptech Spider, and 2 units of Scarab Swarms. And the Overlord will be my Warlord.
So here we are deployed. You can see the 3 objectives along the centre of the battlefield, and we're deployed on opposite edges. So from left to right I've got a unit of Assault Intercessors, Sergeant with the Plasma Pistol with the Librarian behind them. We've got the Battle Sisters and the Canoness in the middle, and then my Mechanicus contingent with the Skitarii Rangers, the Dominus and the Cataphrons. And then on the right flank are the Captain, the other Assault Intercessor Squad and the Outriders. There's no secondary objectives or anything in this game, and for my Sacred Right I chose a Divine Guidance for the AP-1 on 6 to win with range attacks.
And then looking at the Necron deployment, so from the left behind those containers are the Scorpec Destroyers and their Scorpec Lord. The Reanimator is in between them and the Warriors with the Immortals lined up behind them. Chronomancer is right at the back, the Overlord is in the middle with a unit of Scarabs. And then on my other flank we've got the other unit of Warriors, the Canoptech Spider and the other unit of Scarabs. And I didn't put anything in reserves or anything.
And now we're rolling off before the first battle round to see who gets to go first. I won the roll off, and I think I'll choose to go first. So we'll head into Imperial turn 1. Actually at the start of the turn we have to roll a d3 to see which objective is the priority. So 3 or 4 is objective 2. And I'll roll my Miracle Dice now is a 2. And we also see the Necron's command protocol as well.
So it'll be protocol of the Eternal Guardian, and the directive will be the one that gives everything cover if they haven't moved this battle round, which they haven't.
Right. Also I've chosen a Canticle which will be Shroud Psalm for the Cataphrons and the Dominus, and then my Doctrine Imperative is going to be Protector, the one that gives +1 ballistic skill for -1 weapon skill. And then movement, on the left the Assault Intercessors have moved out normally. Librarian advanced, but you can still use Psychic Powers if he advances, so it's just to get him in range of things. In the middle the Battle Sisters and the Canoness have moved up normally as well. Admech contingent's going to stand still. And over here, the Captain and the Assault Intercessors have moved up behind the Hemotrope Reactor, while the Outriders have actually moved in front, so that they can get at least 2 of them in range. So I do hold that objective. And the Psychic phase, going to start off with Smite from the Librarian, which will hit the Scorpec Destroyers, since they are the closest unit. Unit 5, fails with a 4. Oh yeah, we'll do Mind Raid. Let's see if that goes off on a 6. Well, I rolled a 6 and a 5, so that's an 11.
Yeah, the spider's actually out of range to deny the witch.
So Librarian can just about see the Destroyer Lord and he's in range, so I do a mortar into him. He'll regenerate that, but I do get a chance to gain a command point. Yeah, got to beat 10 on 3d6. So Mind Raid needs to be, I need to roll equal to or greater, so with a 10 I do gain a command point and go up to 8. Although, backtracking to the command phase, I'm actually going to spend 2 to use Data Blessed Auto Sermon on the Cataphrone Destroyers to allow them to have Benediction of the Omnissiah active as well as Shalzar. I'm going to do the Cataphrone Destroyers first, and they're going to fire the Grav and the Plasmas into the Spider, and I will supercharge it, and then the Phosphor Blaster, I think it's probably in range of those Warriors, so it will go into them. So I do the Grav shots first, 5 shots hitting on 4s, getting a single hit, wounds on a 5, doesn't wound. So 2d6 shots from the Heavy Plasmas for 7, hitting on 4s, and I can reroll 1 because of Benediction, into a miss. Wounding on 3s, I will reroll that because of Benediction, so 4 wounds.
Need to roll 2 6s to live. Oh, only 1. Yeah, 6 damage. Yeah, I can not command point one of those. So it might explode on a 6. No.
And then we've got the Heavy Phosphor Blaster into the Warriors, which misses. I'll do these Skitarii Rangers next. They're all just going to shoot at the Warriors opposite them. 12 shots from Galvanic Rifles on 2s rolling 1s. They will hit. Wounding on 4s. 5 wounds. 5
4+ saves because Protocol of the Hermit Garden gives me light cover. Made 2, so 3 dead so far.
Do the Sniper. Rerolling 1s. He still misses. Art Rifle 1 shot. Rerolling 1s. Hits. 3s. Wounds. 8 plus 2.
6. Nope, 4 dead.
2 Plasma shots. Both hit. 3s. Fail to wound.
So 4 dead total. Reanimation. Gets me 2 back.
I'll do those 5 Assault Intercessors on the right next. They're all going to be in pistol range of the same unit of Warriors. So 5 shots on 3s. Rerolling 1s. Because of the Captain. Getting 3, then 4s, getting 1.
4+. Nope. Reanimation. Yes.
And I'll do the Outriders at the same unit as well. 12 shots from Outriders on 3s rolling 1s. 10 hits or wounding on 4s. 7 wounds.
7 4+. Failed 3. Reanimation again. Rerolling 1s. No.
Do the Tech Priest Dominus, he's going to shoot the same unit of Warriors. His pistol isn't in range. 3 shots of the Volkite Blaster on 2s. They will hit. Wounding on 3s, 6s do 2 mortal wounds in addition. No 6s, but I can reroll that 1 because of Benediction of the Messiah. Oh, which is a 6. So that's 3 wounds.
Which are 3+ saves. That's made all those, but just take 2 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
They might reanimate. No, they don't.
And yes, there is a mistake here. The Tech Priest Dominus should not have benefited from Benediction of the Omnissiah. It was only the Cataphrone Destroyers that had that because of Data Blessed Auto Sermon. But it was actually the reroll that caused the mortal wounds that killed the Warriors, and we do realise this later in the game and fix it.
Battle Sisters next, into the other unit of Warriors. Roll the Storm Bolter with the other bolters, so it's 11 shots with bolt weapons on 3s rolling 1s. That one out of the box. 2 1s. Winning on 4, 6s are AP -1. No 6s, but 8 wounds.
8 3+ saves. Losing 3. Reanimation. Rerolling 1s. Yeah, we lose 3.
Last bit of shooting is the other Assault Intercessor squad. 3 of the guys with heavy bolt pistols can see the Warriors and are in range. 1 guy is out of range, so there's no point shooting at anything else, it will just regenerate. 3 shots on 3s. 2 hits. 4s. 1.
4+. Kills 1, does it come back? No.
And that unit of Warriors on the right, with only 3 left, has to take a leadership test.
So they're leadership 11 right now because they're within 6 inches of the Warlord, but they lost 7. So a 5 or a 6 will be bad. No, 3 they're good.
And that's it for Imperial turn 1, on to Necrons turn 1.
So in my command phase, the Scorpic Destroyer heals that wound. My will be done will go on the unit of Warriors with Reapers in the front here. The Reanimation Beam from the Reanimator will also go on them. Chronomancer's Invulnerable Save will go on the Scorpic Destroyers. And we'll use the Resurrection Orb on the unit of 3 Warriors that are left. So 7 are missing, coming back on 5s, rerolling 1s. That's not a great roll. No, not a single one. On the left flank, the Destroyers have moved out, followed by the Destroyer Lord. In the middle, the unit of 6 Warriors have moved forward, the Immortals following them, the Reanimator has moved into the back there. The unit 3 Warriors have moved through the wall, so they're all getting range of the objective. I don't expect them to last very long, but they can at least do some shooting before they go down. And then behind the wall, the Overlord advanced to do something next turn, and the Chronomancer and the Scarabs are also behind there. And not to be forgotten, the other Scarabs are hiding behind the wall over on the other side of the battlefield. So on to the shooting phase, we'll start with the Scorpic Destroyer Lord with his Admitted Annihilator shooting at the Battle Sisters. Because it's Assault 2d3, but it's blast weapon, so minimum 3. Well, 6. Hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s. Hitting on 2s, so makes 6. Rerolling 1s because of his own aura. Oh, okay, yeah, so 6 wounds at AP -1.
6 4+ saves. I've made 2.
Do the Reanimator next, also shooting at them. 6 shots on 4s. 1 hit. Wounds on 2. No. The 3 warriors in the building will shoot at the Battle Sisters. On 3s. 5 hits wounding on 3s. 4.
4 4+. Made 2 again.
Unit of 6 warriors with Reapers will shoot at the Battle Sisters as well. 12 shots on 2s. Mine will be done. 1 miss. And 3s. 6.
6 5+ armor saves. Well, I made 3, so we've got 1 left. Keep the superior.
Tempting though it is to finish her off, I think the Immortals will shoot at the Assault Intercessors with the Librarian. And I've got so many command points, I'll spend 1 to use Relentless Onslaught, so 6 is to hit our additional hit. So we've got 10 shots on 3s. So 8 hits in total, wounding on 3s. 6 wounds.
6 5+ saves. I made 2 dead Assault Intercessors.
And finally the Chronomancer will shoot the Outriders, it's the only thing he can see.
And I will spend a command point for Transhuman Physiology.
1 shot hits on a 3. That's a hit. I'll spend a command point for Techno-Oracular Targeting to automatically wound, so bypassing Transhuman Physiology. So we're both down to 5, and it's a wound at AP -3.
6+ armor. Nope.
D3 plus 3 damage, so auto kill 1.
Hey, I've got lots of command points. No, this one thing is he wasn't on the objective.
All my shooting in the charge phase, the Scorpic Destroyers are going to charge those Assault Intercessors with the Librarian. Need a decent roll, but they can re-roll it because of the Chronomancer's ability. Or 8 might be enough anyway. They'll finish there. The Scorpic Lord will have a go as well. 11 though. No. That will be my only charge.
I'm not going to heroically intervene with the Librarian.
So the Scorpic Destroyers will pile in and attack.
And I will spend a command point for Transhuman Physiology again.
8 attacks from the normal swords, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. 7 hits. And winning on 3s.
4s.
Oh, you're winning on 4s, so 5.
6s. No.
But I won't consolidate because they're all on the objective.
That is it for the melee. The Battle Sister Superior has to make a leadership test. Not going to bother spending 2 command points to save 1 Battle Sister, so she's at -9, and she's leadership 9, so she needs to roll a 1. No. But that is it for Necrons turn 1. On to Imperium turn 2. And at the start of the battle round, the priority objective might change.
It is number 3.
Fantastic. Yeah, don't get a miracle dice for a Battle Sister unit being destroyed, but I do get one at the start of the turn, so 4. And gain a command point and go up to 4. And command protocol.
It's Protocol of the Vengeful Stars, the -1 AP on 6 to wound with shooting.
And I'm going to choose Benediction of the Omnissiah as my canticle. Don't think I'll choose a Doctrine Imperative this turn. And at the end of my command phase, I gain 5 victory points for holding objective 3, and then another 10 for holding the priority objective. So in my movement phase, the bikes have come across towards objective 2. Cannonless has moved up into the middle. Librarian's going across to Atad. Down here, the Skitarii Rangers are staying still, while the Dominus and the Cataphrons are moving across just to get those flamers in range of the destroyers. And over here, the Assault Intercessors and the Captain are moving up to take the place of the bikes around Objective 3. Going to start the psychic phase off with Smite, which will hit the destroyers, needing a 5. Fails with a 4 again, so we're going to try Hallucination this time, needing a 6. Gets it with a 6, it's going to go on the destroyers. Going to start the shooting phase with the Cataphrons, and they're going to put everything into the destroyers. Well, I will do the heavy phosphor first. I think it's within 12, so just 1 shot actually on a 4. Hits. Wounds on a 4. Wounds, -1.
Yeah, there's 1 in cover, so 3 plus. Fine.
Flamers, 2d6 plus 4. These wound on 5s, 11 hits. 4 wounds.
Have to go on the guy in cover because he's been allocated 2, so 3 2 pluses. He takes 1 wound, and then the last one he's not, so he's down to 2.
So now I've got the Grav, 5 shots on 4s. I'll take 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. 2 wounds.
5's on going cover. First one, yeah, he's dead, 2 damage, and then 1 on the other one, so another one takes 2 damage.
And then I am supercharging plasma, I should say that beforehand, but I'm going to do it. 2d6 shots for 7 again. 4s. And I can re-roll one of these because of Benediction of the Omnissiah. 5 hits. Wounding on 3s. Again, re-rolling 1 because of Benediction for 5 wounds at AP -3.
Yeah, 5 plus are vulnerable actually because of the Chronomancer. Only made 1, so they're all dead.
Do the Librarian next. It's going to shoot his bolt pistol at the Immortals. Hits on a 3, he does. Wounds on a 5, he does not. Cannoness going to fire her plasma unsupercharged at the Immortals as well. She'd use her command rod on herself every turn now. She's only balances left. One shot hitting on a 2 hits. 3s to wound, wounds.
6 to save. Nope, it kills 1. Does it come back? No.
Do the bikes next. They're going to put their bolt rifles into the smaller unit of warriors in the ruins. 8 shots on 3s. 3 hits. Wounding on 4s. Getting 2.
They're in cover, so 4s. Oh, they're right.
Do those assault intercessors. They'll shoot their bolt pistols at the warriors in the ruins as well. 5 shots on 3s. You're rolling 1s. 4 hits on 4s. Getting 1 wound.
4 plus. No. Reanimation. Rerolling 1s.
The Tech Priest Dominus is going to go. He's going to shoot at the Destroyer Lord, and he'll put his phosphor pistol into the unit of 3 warriors. And he did move, so 3 shots at the Destroyer Lord, hitting on 3s. They all hit, so 4s to wound, 6s do 2 mortal wounds. And I'll re-roll that with Benediction. So they all wound, plus 2 mortal wounds.
So 2 3 plus saves, so the Destroyer Lord he makes, and a 3rd save. Yeah, it just takes 2 mortal wounds.
Oh, reminded me, I did accidentally use Benediction for the Dominus in the previous turn, so there should be 2 more warriors left in that unit.
Yeah, because he actually has Shroud Time last turn. It was only the Destroyers who had Benediction.
Yeah. But I do get to use a Phosphor Serpenta against them now. So we got 1 shot, hits on 2 and hits, wounds on 3. I didn't wound. Do the Skitarii Rangers next. I think the sniper will shoot at the Destroyer Lord, and then everyone else will shoot at the unit of warriors outside the structure. So we'll do the sniper. He has 1 shot hitting on a 3. He hits. Wounds on a 3. 6 does a mortal wound in addition. He gets a wound.
4 plus invulnerable save. Nope. I'm going to re-roll that because it's nearly the end of the shooting phase. Down to 4 command points. Yes.
12 rifles on 3s and 1s. 11 hits wounding on 4s. 4.
5s, because these ones do not have cover. You've got 2 successes.
Then an arc rifle shot that hits and wounds. 8 minus 2.
6. Nope, 3 dead.
And 2 plasma shots. Rerolling the 1, not supercharging, so just a miss. 3 wounds, dead.
No save. So
4
4 dead total. Coming back on 4s, rerolling 1s because of the reanimate. Rerolling 1s. 2 back. So they'll reanimate onto there, and also behind the building is where the other 2 warriors that would have not been dead have been placed back there.
That is all of the shooting. So in the charge phase, the bikes will charge this unit warriors.
I might as well Overwatch, don't think they're going to be alive much longer. Only 8 shots left, 6s, and 2 hits. On 4s. A wound. There was that 6, so that's actually aim minus 3.
Whoa, 6 plus. Yeah, they don't need to go very far. The Canoness will charge the other unit warriors. Oh, 12. Oh, how unnecessary. These assault intercessors are going to have a go at those scarabs as well. 7? You know what, I will spend a command point to try and re-roll that. 6, no. You know what, the Librarian will try and charge as well. He's actually going to charge both of these units, so essentially he needs to get here. It'll probably need to be something fairly special because the bikes are in the way. Or 10, that's going to be enough. So he can slot into that gap there. I'll do the bikes first, and they are attacking the unit with the Gauss Reapers. 13 attacks from the bikes on 3s. 9 hits wounding on 4s, getting 3.
5s to save. Oh, made 2. And a reanimation. Comes back.
I'll do the Librarian next. He's going to attack the same unit. 5 attacks for the Librarian on 3s. Wounding on 3s. 2.
2 straight dead. Do they come back? They do. So 2 will die, and they're actually going to reanimate behind the Librarian, where they are in coherency.
And then the Canoness is going to fight the other unit. 4s, rerolling 1s, they will hit. And wounding on 4s. 2 wounds. 2 dead warriors.
Do they come back? No. So me hitting back then, I'll do the larger unit of warriors first. So 4 attacks hitting on 2s. That will be done. They all hit. Wounding on 5s. 2.
2, 3 plus armour. Failed both. I'm actually going to re-roll one of those, I think. Saved.
And the other 3 warriors attacking the Canoness. They hit twice and they wound twice.
3 plus armour. Failed 1. And that is finally it. So on to Necron's turn 2.
So in my command phase, the Destroyer Lord heals a wound. My will be done, and the reanimation being both on the Immortals. The Chronometron invulnerable save will go on the Scarabs that are here. And at the end of the command phase, I gain 5 victory points for holding objective 2. So in the middle, all those warriors have fallen back, getting out of the way of everything. The Overlord is still behind the wall because he can't actually move into the building yet. The Immortals, Reanimator, the Chronomancer have all shifted over towards objective 1, and the Scorpion Lord is standing on it at the moment. The unit of Scarabs with the invulnerable save on them have moved over to probably go and tie up the Skitarii Rangers, and the other unit have gone to take objective 3. Start shooting with the Chronomancer, who's going to fire at the Cataphren destroyers. One shot on a 3. He hit. Spend a command point for the automatic wound.
So 6+ invulnerable save. You.
Scorpion Lord's going to shoot at the Skitarii Rangers. 2d3 shots, but minimum 3. 4. Hitting on 2s. They all hit. Wounding on 2s. They all wound.
So they are in cover, so 4+ saves. Made 1. 3 dead.
The Reanimator will shoot the Canoness. 4s and 2s. 3 wounds, 1 with an extra AP.
4+ invulnerable save. Yeah. Made 1, so she's down to 2.
The Immortal's also going to shoot the Cataphren destroyers. And I'll spend a command point for the extra hits on 6s, so I'm down to 2 now. It's 8 shots on 2s. 1 miss, but a 6, so they will hit. Winning on 4s, 6 is extra AP. 4 wounds, 2 of which are AP -3.
2 5s. No, 2 6s, but say the 2 5s, 2 6s. No, down to 1 wound on one of the plasmas.
No more shooting, so the charge phase. Well, I'll do the Overlord first. He's just going to pop through the wall, getting himself to there.
Yeah, they'll set to defend.
And the Scorpion Lord will declare the bikers. His roll is 7, that'll be enough. He gets to there. The Reanimator will also just charge the bikers just to get it to there so it's within range of the objective. And the unit of Scarabs in the middle will charge the Skitarii Rangers.
So they will hold steady and fire
Yeah,
over. Now we've got a blast pistol, D3 shots for 2 on 5s you're rolling 1s. You get to hit. Wounds on a 3. Yeah, it does.
5+ invulnerable. Nope, that's 1 damage.
6 rifle shots. Reroll that 1. So 4 hits there. 3s. They will wound.
5s again. Made 2, so base is down to 1 wound.
Arc rifle. Reroll the 1. Hits. And wounds.
Vulnerable? Nope, that's dead.
Sniper. No. Plasma. Oh, I should say I went supercharged. Should have supercharged. 2s. Both wound.
5s. No. Kills a base. Does it come back? No. And their charge roll is in. So then we're on to the fighting, and I would do the Scorpion Lord first. Use the big sword, so he's got 4 attacks hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s. They will hit. Winning on 3s, rerolling 1s. Well, just 2 wounds, but they're AP -4, 3 damage each, so...
Sarge lives on 1 wound.
Yeah. The Reanimator will try and finish him off. Reanimator has 4 attacks on 4s, 2 hits, 4s as well. 1 wound, AP -2.
5+. You.
Overlord next, he'll attack the Librarian.
I'm going to spend a command point for Transient Physiology.
4 attacks on 3s. 3 hits, but winning on 4s. Oh yeah, he's dead. And finally the Scarabs. 8 attacks on 4s, 6s, wound automatically. 4 normal hits and an automatic wound. Winning on 4s. 3.
4 3+. Made 3. Skitarii will pile in. They can all fight over the barrier. Use black dice for the Arc Maul, so 5 regular dudes and the Arc Maul hitting on 4 rerolling 1s. The Maul wounds on a 2, because he is strength 6, and then the others wound on 4s. There you've got 2 wounds.
5+ save from the Maul, yes, and the normal attack. No, so 8 damage.
And the Canoness can fight the Overlord. Rerolling 1s, they all hit. 5s. 1 wound.
4+, and he takes a wound.
And that's the end of the battle round. Do need to make a leadership test for these Skitarii. They do have +1 from that Hemotrope reactor though, so their leadership 9. And I didn't roll a 6, so they're fine. Yeah, we're on to Imperial turn 3. Yeah, new battle round, so priority objective is number 1.
My command protocol is the Hungry Void. We'll give +1 strength when charged or charging, or heroic intervene.
Miracle dice is a 6. So I'm going to choose Listening of the Electromancer, so that's -1 to hit these 2 units in melee, and then I chose +3 inches of movement, -1 to save for the Skitarii so they can get further away from the Scarabs. And then up here the Canoness is going to fall back from the middle, and over there the Assault Intercessors and the Captain are going to try and get involved in the game. So I think basically as long as I can stop the Necrons holding objective 1 next turn, I'm still in it. But on to the shooting phase, where I will start with the Cataphrons, and they're going to shoot at the Immortals, not supercharging. Might as well do the flamethrowers first. 2d6 +4. 11 automatic hits, wounding on 5. Getting 4.
Doing them in cover on the people who are not on the objective, so 2s, they're both alive, and 2, yeah, no damage from that.
2d6 plasma for 8. 4s. 7 hits. 3s. Only 3. I will spend a command point to reroll on those because it's that important. So yes, 4 wounds.
So on the 3 who are in cover, 5s, made 1, and then another 5 on the same one. Yes, so 2 dice. Reanimation on 4s. Yes, because of the reanimator.
1 comes back. Do the Tech Priest Dominus next. He's going to put both of his guns into the Immortals as well. The 3 white dice of the Volkite Blaster that hit on 3s. Black dice hits on a 2. So only 1 hit with the Volkite. Splinter wounds on a 4. Volkite wounds on a 3. Volkite wounded.
2+ on the one who was in cover. Yes.
Assault Intercessors on the end, 5 pistol shots. We're going to put those on the unit of warriors with the flayers. I think there's only 3 of them left. So 3s reroll 1s. That's a 4. Reroll that one. 4 hits. Wounding on 4s. 1.
4+ with cover. Nope. Reanimation. Rerolling 1s. Comes back.
Yeah. Captain's going to throw a crack grenade at the unit of Scarabs near the Assault Intercessors. He hits 2s. Nope. Yeah, that's it for shooting. To be honest, I think I'm actually just going to concede at this point because I'm not going to be able to stop those Immortals taking Objective 1. So that's 15 victory points there and another 5 there. And I think the Necrons will pull out an insurmountable lead at that point.
Yeah, I think although you'll be able to take Objective 3, I think I can probably destroy enough to keep you off the objectives for the rest of the game as well. I think that's probably what's going to happen.
But we can recap that game for you now. It's definitely a Necron victory. So that was a game for issue 62 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium magazine. How do you think that went?
Well, the outcome was unexpected. It didn't start very well for me at all. Well, at the start I was grumpy because I neglected to put the spider within range of the command protocols, and so it would have lived by making a 5 armor save on a 5+ if it had cover. And then given that was my thing that could deny the witch, and I put it on the wrong side of the board.
I think my first turn went pretty well, although I think I probably should have just been more aggressive and advance my Assault Intercessors and the Battle Sisters onto the objectives, especially the Battle Sisters to use Defenders of the Faith. You may have spread your shooting out a bit more then, or at least targeted not the Battle Sisters, and I would have had numbers on the middle objective. And then later in the game, I think your warriors refused to die. I think that was also a key point. Well, to be fair, also my Librarian didn't do terribly well. He failed to smite both times, and those 2d3 mortal wounds would have come in really handy.
Yeah, I mean, you did kill the Destroyers off relatively easily anyway, but if there'd been not as many of them to start with, it would have freed up some shooting to shoot something else. I suppose it looks like in one sense we did call it quite early, but I would have got 20 victory points, and then you would have held 1 objective and got 5. There is unfortunately the first turn effect where, because you went first, I wasn't able to put the Chronomancer's invulnerable save up or the Reanimator's reanimation beam up.
Well, and also I would say in this game, going first is actually a noticeable advantage, considering the way the victory points are handed out, because even if I don't score any victory points, I actually have the chance to stop you scoring victory points. Even if it went to turn 5, even though I won't be able to score any victory points in my turn 5, I still have the time to stop you scoring any by denying you objectives.
But yes, although you, by putting the bikes on objective 3 at the start, you didn't score any points, it meant I was reluctant to just dump scarabs on them to stop you getting points, because they would probably just destroy the scarabs. So although I would have stopped you getting the points for objective 3, which of course turned out to be the priority objective, it probably is the right decision to sacrifice a unit of scarabs to stop you scoring 15 victory points, but it's difficult to predict that at the time, so...
And probably talk about the Librarian's new psychic powers as I use them. I don't think any of them are particularly bad in general. I don't think I'll actually use Temporal Corridor very often, because I probably want units to shoot at things. The only other Phobos units I have available actually are able to deploy where I want them anyway. Although it would be handy if I need a unit to get on an objective really quickly. But Mind Raid and Hallucination are both fairly useful utility ones. Mind Raid, average dice roll of 3d6 is 10.5, so on average it will get you a command point.
Yeah, even against Necrons who are all leadership 10, against a lower leadership average army, it's probably better.
Mortal Wound is handy, I suppose. And Hallucination as well, -1 leadership's not too big of a deal against Necrons, but -1 to hit is always handy regardless of who you're fighting. Yeah, but unfortunately a lot of the ones might not take the Librarian too often, because a lot of it is only affect other Phobos units, and we do get 3 more, and they're not super useful for using on himself.
We have said a number of times that the utility of the Librarian is as a support character, and you can actually see that now that we've seen his psychic powers. When all he could do was smite and fight not that effectively in melee, he did look like a bad investment. But you can also see that you do need to have the army to benefit from it.
And considering how he did in this game, I probably would have been better off with the Lieutenant, to be brutally honest.
And I suppose we talked about it in the previous issue, but this is the first time we've seen the 50+ power detachment. We did have to bring that larger detachment to fit all our HQ choices in, but it's really just a choice of how many HQ choices you want.
Also, you actually have bigger games and a decent number of command points to spend, so you should see some of the more expensive stratagems coming out as well.
Yeah, and also when you have that many, there were a couple of occasions where I did just spend a command point to re-roll something, or I was more freely able to use things that improve the power of my army as well, like auto-wounding every time.
Yeah, that auto-wound with a Chronomancer was pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
But otherwise, don't think there's too much more to say about this game, this issue. So, as always, if you like this content, do leave a like and subscribe. If you've been playing along, let us know. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.